Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this another brand new day. Yay! For those of you that watch, thank you for watching. It is greatly appreciated. My channel is dying on the vine, and that happens. I'm slightly upset, not too much, but, 2 years ago, I was getting 200 views on a video. A year ago, I was getting 400 views on a video. Now, if I hit 200 views, I'm doing good, and a lot of videos don't even hit that. Now, like I say, I'm not blaming YouTube. I'm not blaming this, that, or the other. I'm an old guy. I'm not very exciting. I'm very low-key. So, yeah, I understand, but hopefully I can do something at some point, either with new channels or something, because like I say, I've started up a gaming channel, and I've gone into there twice now. Tried really hard, and YouTube and people out there have resoundingly said, no, we don't want to watch, thanks. So we'll do something, maybe. I'm never going to let everything die. I do this for my mental health, and even if there's only 5 people that subscribe and watch, then that's 5 people that are out there and people that I'm talking to. So it's never going to stop. So thank you much. Hopefully I can do something to break the indifference of YouTube and do something. And if not, hey, life is life. Thumbs up for that. But for the Shelton, Washington weather report, it was nice and warm last night, and it's gray and cloudy this morning. It's still kind of warmish. I had to turn my box fan in the window off so I could record, and it's late recording, but that's life too. I am still experimenting with timing on my medications for ADHD. I have been talking about, like yesterday I mentioned how for people without ADHD, ADHD medications they rev you up, they fire you up because your system's already working. It just charges you up a little bit more. And if you have ADHD and you take these meds, there's a hole in your circuitry, and this tool fits right in there. And you don't get revved up, your system comes online and you start functioning properly. One of the things I have been afraid of still is taking meds in the evening time, because what if I'm revved up? I don't get revved up. I've talked about that too, but just to remind, I don't get revved up on this because it's a tool and it's just firing up those parts of my brain. My system doesn't rev up. And in fact, yesterday, I took my afternoon medications, 10 milligrams at 11:30, 10 milligrams at 12:30. So at 1 o'clock, I was fully wired on this stimulant. And I fell asleep in my chair. I fell asleep. I could feel it coming. I could feel the rails rattling underneath my feet as I was walking along, and boom, I was out. About a half hour. I think I stopped breathing for a time because I felt kind of weird afterward, and that happens when I stop breathing because of my sleep apnea, yay. But I don't get revved up. And so yesterday, to try and figure out still, because I take my morning meds at 5:30 and 6:30 to taper up and taper off. Then at 11:30 and 12:30. And then last night I said, you know what? And I took 10 milligrams at 5:30 and 10 milligrams at 6:30. And I got appropriately tired and sleepy as the night went on. 10, 11 o'clock, because these past months, even before I started taking ADHD meds, my sleep patterns were changing, so I was already 10, 11 o'clock before I was going to bed. Now it's 10, 11 o'clock before I go to bed. But I was tired. And when I got to bed on 20 milligrams of methylphenidate hydrochloride, fell right asleep. Would have slept the whole night through, too. Didn't even hurt as much as I normally do. Unfortunately, and I still have to continue with the sleeping tale afterward, yesterday when I went walkies, and it was not early, but it was like 7-ish, which is better than the 8:30 that has been happening. But I went walkies, and when I got back, my housemates were gone. They went camping for the night. They left a note saying, "Hi, we've left. We're not going to be back tonight. So, rate." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, impromptu. That was fine. I took care of things, did stuff, went to bed." Thankfully, I didn't actually chain the door like we do. I forgot to chain the door, I hope, because at 2:30, my housemates came home. So 2:30, I just woke up, didn't know what the heck was going on, but I felt or heard something, and so I was just like, "What? Huh?" And then about 2 minutes later, their bedroom is across from mine, across the hall. And so they turned on their lights and whoosh, light coming in. And doors slamming and clumping and dropping and slamming. And I try to be quiet and conscientious when I'm up at 5:30 in the morning. Or if I have to go to the bathroom and I go downstairs at 3 o'clock in the morning, I try to be very quiet because it's hard to stay asleep, and it's just a nice thing to try and be careful for other people. So after about 10 minutes of banging, slamming, crashing, and things just being knocked over and thump and slam and doors being wham shut, they finally calmed down. I never really fell back asleep. So from 2:30 onward, I have been roughly awake. But at the same time, because I took the generic Ritalin before going to bed, I didn't just lay there wide awake like I normally would have. I was half asleep, half dozing, until 5:30, at which point I was awake enough, and even though I didn't sleep, I half slept, half dozed. Time passed, and it was not good, but better than it had been. So yeah, from this point onward, I'm just taking 10 milligrams at 5:30, 10 milligrams at 6:30, and then 10 milligrams at 11:30, 12 milligrams at 12:30, and 10 milligrams at 5:30 at night, 10 milligrams at 6:30 at night. My system never revs up. I don't find it difficult to sleep. It just puts that tool in place. Parts of my brain that for 58 years have not worked properly are suddenly working properly, and I don't get revved up, and that's really, really good. As stated, I need to change my habits, because at 58 and a half years old, I've got 58 and a half years of habits of dealing with ADHD. So when I'm on the meds, I don't have those roadblocks in front of me. I don't have to drive on this highway the same way I did when there were wrecks and ruins and potholes in them. The medication has made it so most of the wrecks are dragged off the roads. Most of the potholes are filled in. My car's got 4 wheels and not just 3. So I need to change my habits, so I'm not just doing the same thing I did all those 58 and a half years, but I'm doing stuff to take advantage of that. Now that I've decided what I'm going to do with the meds, instead of still being in an experimentation period, give myself a day or two to see how everything works out, but I'm going to keep on planning and trying and working to see if I can push ahead and get other stuff done. So thumbs up on that, definitely a good thing. I also do have other stuff on my list. Like, I mentioned this before, one of the reasons I went out and I got a blood pressure cuff was to check my blood pressure, because I'm getting headaches. And they're headaches that every time my heart beats, it feels like a knife is stabbing into the center of my brain. But on a blood pressure cuff, my it's a little elevated, as stated. Like yesterday when I took my blood pressure, it was like 134/83, something like that. So for me, that's elevated a lot, because for years I've been around, well, since about year 2003, I've had a blood pressure of around 113/70 something. So yeah, it's gone up. But I also weigh like 40 pounds more than I did just a year and a half ago. So I need to lose the weight so I can help bring my blood pressure down. So there are changes, but I don't know if it's the med or if it's just the extra mass. But with the headaches, one thing I had been checking on is I'm like a lot of people. I carry a lot of my stress and all that in my shoulders and my neck. I've hunched up like this for years, so I had been doing neck exercises ever since like the year 2000, but I've been sort of slacking off. And the other day with that headache when it came on, and it was bad, I started doing the neck exercises, and oh my God, they're like taut steel cables. They still are now. So I need to really start stretching out these muscles again. There's all sorts of neck exercises. You look off to the sides, you tilt your head back and forth like this. You just bring your head back like this as far as you can. You try to look downward. You bring your head to the side and you basically let it dangle down this way, which stretches out these ones. Now this one is hard, but it stretches out your muscles here. You have the opposite hand. Like if I'm going to look up this way, I take this arm and push it downward like this, straight down as hard as I can, because you got to look upward like this. And then stress your neck muscles to pull these muscles tight, to stretch these out. Because if you don't stretch these out, it's going to pull your head downward. And just tilting your head back doesn't do it, because you've got a rocker back there. You need to put that arm down and stretch. So I need to start doing that more often. And again, so thumbs up on that. Hopefully that'll help with the headaches, and I just always have to be aware and bring my shoulders down. Oof. So let me take a look at my list over here. And actually I do have, and I'm going to be talking more on another day, like tomorrow, about this new stupid idea that I've been working on with Yath Chugoi, the eldritch horror that is a bad trans ally, since after all, they keep, murdering hundreds, anywhere from tens to thousands of human beings at a shot, and then arranging their murdered corpses into positive messages, which doesn't do good. I mean, changing an atrocity so that it's a positive message painted with the atrocity doesn't make it any less an atrocity. So representation matters in stretched out and destroyed corpses. It doesn't help. Yath Chugoi is not a good ally. But why does this Gakiri, this eldritch horror, even care about that sort of thing? Who knows? Who understands these things? I sure don't. But for whatever reason, Yath Chugoi cares, and cares a lot. But I have a character that I still come back to every once in a while because I like the character. In fact, it's part of a whole group of characters. There's one guy who's a natural swordsman, another fellow who's an older wizard and so sometimes goes into fugue states because of he's got developing senility. And then there's the thief who's very clumsy but has also been blessed by their local god. I'll have to get into that on another day, but the one character I like is Scorn. Scorn is an ogre. Scorn talks. Scorn is unusual. A mutation for this world. Very, very smart. Smart ogre. Developed sense of ethics and morals. Is trying very hard to be vegan. Is friends with the wizard. and when younger had been taken to the capital so that he could be studied because he was smarter. And so to pay for being studied, because the wizard wouldn't just let them use them, it was a person because he was smarter, he was taught, given a place to live, able to take all those courses while they studied him. So yeah, he's got a much more developed smarts part of the brain. Very intelligent. Still an ogre. So not a lot of fine motor dexterity, and the language part of his brain is very developed. But from the pathways down to here, ogres aren't developed to have fine motor skills and to be able to talk. They're designed to kill and eat and breed to make another generation. So Scorn knows the words, but when they go from ear to ear, everything just gets all messed up. So Scorn's an interesting character. I really like this fellow. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I am not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. Thumbs up each one I do. Answer as many as my executive dysfunction will allow. With my meds, it's not as bad as it used to be. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English speaker, and even though I got American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, partially treated ADHD, and more, I am sometimes lucky that I can remember my name. But when I'm medicated, I do so much better. We have Frosty Boy, thumbs up and thank you. Tommy Nelson, greatly appreciated. SWQS_, thumbs up and thank you. Ricky Bettini with the daily reminder to live every day to its fullest, thumbs up. Sean Villar, thumbs up and thank you. Conspo Lopez, I hope to get those videos done soon. Nando Rice Cheruti, greatly appreciated and always good to see you in the comments. We have Extension Cord, I like the name, thumbs up, thank you. Had I already thanked? Rob1983, thumbs up and thank you. Greatly appreciate. Good to see you in the comments. Andy1416, thumbs up, thank you. Squishy Waffles 69, I like the name Squishy Waffles, thumbs up. There's Kapaki, good to see you in the comments. And then there's Jake, thumbs up and thank you. And MELIODAS Soy, thumbs up and thank you. Jack Mann, greatly appreciated. And that is it. In the past 24 hours, 14 people who left comments. Greatly appreciated each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Thumbs up and thank you so very much. It is greatly appreciated. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people with a list that hopefully I've updated by, if not today, tomorrow at the very least. But still, thank you, each and every one of you. It's because of you I have a roof over my head and food that I can eat. Greatly appreciated. If you'd like to help me out without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wishlist link as well, where hopefully I have it updated to have things like Reptisand and hamster food and hamster bedding and cat food. If you could check it out, that'd be very cool. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence, a definite thumbs up, and of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, a definite thumbs up for that. Well, hey, be safe. If you have to go out, please. In the United States, they say if you're vaccinated, you can go out unmasked. I'm going to keep on wearing a mask because for the last year, I've been going out among people, but wearing my mask, I have not gotten the colds or the sicknesses that I usually get. I have stayed healthier than I have before. I'm going to keep wearing a mask, but wear a mask, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, maintain your social distancing, and if you're in any other part of the country where this thing is raging, please be as careful as humanly possible. Please. So, you take care. Have a great day today. we'll see you on the flip side, and that is a definite thumbs up. So I should be able to quickly only lost that much life.